Hello, hello, hello. Wow. You better. Hi, welcome to Willis Farms. I appreciate you tuning in today. Let me adjust all of my camera angles. While I was waiting for our time to meet with coffee. Do you have your coffee? Mine says Busy Bee. I love these redone cups. They're so much fun. And if, like I've said this before, but if my husband makes my coffee in the morning, he picks up my cup. So I always find it very interesting to see what he picks. But anyway, welcome to Willis Farms, LLC. My name is Bethany. I am the owner and lead creator on this team. And I appreciate you tuning in today. You can find me, and I will put in the comments as well. You can find all of my products on www.willis-farms-llc.com. You probably are noticing this cute little set on my table right now. That's not what we're going to go over today. But as I was waiting, I was weeding, because when you cut with a laser, you mask it. And so I was taking all the mask off. It looks like this when it's cut. I have to get my camera angles right. Where am I? Where am I? There we are. Sorry. Learning. But I do appreciate you joining me today. Say hello as you come in. We are once again streaming to a couple of different platforms. So I'm learning all about this technology and stuff, but I would love to say hello. How is your Tuesday? It's crazy that it's Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday, the 9th of March already. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I told you that I would teach you how to do posters with napkins. So here is my napkin set that I purchased from TJ Maxx. So it's cute, adorable little bunny with gingham on there. And as you always know, napkins are, like this. There's, when you fold it out, it's like this, right? So what you're going to need for this project are napkins, some tiles. These are just ceramic tile that I bought at not a local hardware store, because my local hardware store does not carry them, but a hardware store that starts with an H and a D. I'm not sponsored by them, so, But anyway, that's where I got them. You're also going to need some cork. I purchased this at a local craft store. This has the adhesive, so you just peel that. I will show you how to do that. You're also going to need, even though I said transfer gel, today I'm going to use Ultra Grip by Fusion Mineral Paint. And we are also going to use Clear Coat Matte by Fusion Mineral Paint. Now, what I do, let's get some of this stuff out of the way. To cut my cork, because I purchased it on a roll, I just use my scrapbook cutter. This one is specifically for my cork because it dulls the blade really fast. But I just put it in there 3 3/4 inches, cut it, and then 3/4 and 3/4 inches again. Just put it in there, measure, and just run your blade down. It's so much easier than using scissors. Okay, so much easier. I can show you real fast, because I love these coasters. I love new coasters every season. I think it's a lot of fun. So right here is my 3/4 inch. Estimates are always totally fine. We're going to put it in there. Can you guys see? It always likes to fight me. So we're just going to put it in there. We're going to measure up to 3/4 inches. Put our blade down and just run it. Okay. Pull that side off to the side. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to make it 3/4 inches also. Now we have enough for, because 2 rows is enough for 2 sets of coasters. If you get this roll, which is like 12 inches. I'm not quite for sure how long it is. Okay, the next step that we're going to do, and hopefully this camera, okay, is, as you know, napkins are generally 2 or 3 ply. So you take your fingernail and you separate those layers because you're just wanting the top layer. Okay. Do you remember as kids? I don't think the younger people do this, but us seasoned individuals, do you remember separating the gum wrappers from the aluminum? I know in school we had to use that aluminum for our what is it called, guys? When the moon goes over the solar eclipse. Yeah, so we use those for solar eclipse, and also we used them for makeshift photo boxes that we would make out of Quaker Oats containers. So all I'm doing is I'm just separating the 3 plies, and I am taking the top, the one that has the design on it. Anybody with me today? I know it's a busy day. Okay, so I just take those and I set those off to the side. And then these you can just save and use otherwise, or you can discard them, whatever you prefer. Now the fun part. Now I always pour mine into little containers. The one that looks like Elmer's glue is the Ultra Grip. And the one that looks clearer, just like a milky, that is our Tough Coat. So going to take your, and yes, this is very textured. It's just the way I like it. And you're going to take your Ultra Grip and just brush it liberally onto your project. And I know oftentimes when you're watching me, I'm like, don't use too much, don't use too much. This one, you're actually wanting to make sure that all of those little crevices and cracks and everything are completely coated. Now we're going to take our bunny and lay our bunny onto our project. And if you don't like where he's placed, just pick him up. Your napkin is going to get wet, so it will kind of stretch, but you're just going to lay that. And then I like to take either the same one that I had and using the side of my foam brush, I just like to pat that down and try to get into all of those little grooves. Now for this project, since I want my bunny kind of sitting on the bottom and there's not a whole lot of extra on the side, we are just going to kind of go over the edge. We're not going over the edge a lot, so we're just barely going over the edge on this, okay? And this will very easily rip off, or you can use your scissors. You're also going to need scissors for this project, if I didn't say. Okay, now we're going to do, see, very easy. You're going to do your next one. And just make sure you're putting on it, you're just putting it on very liberal. A lot, a lot, a lot. Place our bunny where we want him, or her. She could be a girl bunny. No discrimination here. Then we're gonna blot. And just kind of go over those edges just a little bit. And what I love about these napkins is that once the napkin gets a little wet, it does start to stretch a bit. So it just pulls right over that edge. Normally when I do this, I just do 50 at a time. And then I set them on a drying rack. But I really want to show you how we do all this whole project. Okay, just going over that. Very generous with our ultra grip. Putting our bunny down. Blotting. I also like to get a coordinating napkin so I can have two that would be, you know, a pink gingham, and then two that are this cute bunny with a gingham. This is like a, actually, it's kind of like a French eggshell of the Fusion Mineral colors. We're going to do our last one. So I always do 4 because they set in my trivet holder, which is a 10 by 10 trivet holder, and then I paint on the bottom of it a 8-point star quilt block. So another great thing about this is when the napkin starts to stretch, you can push it down into the crevices of the ceramic tile, and it'll just adhere to that. And I think I really personally love that. I think it's just really pretty. It's very earthy, rustic. Look, I have tested these. They do not absorb the, they are not moisture stone, so they do not absorb the moisture like if your beverage is sweating. But I have had a beverage that was sweating on it for 8 hours and it did not pull up. So they will last a long time. This guy, I'm kind of going all the way over the edge, which you can do. Okay, we're going to set this guy off to the side as well. Another helpful tip is if you are wanting to do a lot of these at a time, to have a drying rack. I use a cookie drying rack, just a really cheap one from like a dollar store. But I just use that, and then I just set my coasters on top of that. So we're going to take my first one. He's not completely dry, but okay. And you just go along and cut your edges. Those free edges that are sticking out. You can wait until this is completely dry as well and sand your edges off just with fine sandpaper, or you can cut it, whatever you want to do. And then just make sure that you go around. You're going to discard this. You are going to need to clean your scissors if you opt to use scissors, because the glue will get on those. Now we're just going to go around and dab paint. Kind of call this my dab paint method. Going around, getting those edges. If there's any loose edges, we're just going to pull them off. Already, isn't he looking cute? Oh my goodness. Isn't that adorable? Love him. Love, love, love him. Now we're going to let him dry just a little bit. Okay, so while he is drying, yesterday I talked about doing, well, I went live on my Facebook page. I talked about doing cards for my mom. So I just wanted to tell you, because I would love to hear from you, what inspiration you, like what inspires you. So here's the Stampin' Up set that my mom bought. My mom buys Stampin' Up sets, and then I cut the kits for her. So all she has to do is just glue. But isn't that cute? Hopefully we haven't froze. Yeah, so this is called the Hydrangea Haven set, and then it comes with the die cuts as well. And a die cut is just like a metal frame that has kind of like a blade. I have to be smarter than this envelope, don't I? There we go. Show you what these look like. Because these are super cool, because you also can cut, with this, you could also cut fabric, thin fabric. But that's what the die cuts look like. So it cuts around the stamp set. So adorable. I watched a YouTube video of a lady that did a card. It was stunning. And she used all of these, and then she glued individual ones onto the card. So pretty. So, so pretty. But I'm actually stalling because I need my coaster to dry. So a great way to store these too, I just like to give handy tips, is just take it out of this little envelope and store it in the same container, because then you have your die cuts with your stamp all the time. Handy little tip. Okay. Let's move back to our little coaster, and we're going to take our Ultra Grip right now, and we're just painting Ultra Grip over the top of our coaster. You're not going to want an overly generous, but you are going to want to make sure that it is saturated over your product. And this is basically your sealant. So this is what makes sure that none of that napkin pulls off with moisture. Okay. So cute. I really wish that you could see this so much better, because the colors of the blue just soaked into the ceramic tile. And so it's just like this watercolory kind of look right now. It is so beautiful. Now, if you want to prevent that from happening, I will show you very quick something that you can do to prevent that. You basically paint your coaster, and then after painting your coaster, then you're going to do the exact same steps. Okay. So I'm trying to see if I have any of my paint close by. I don't have any of my paint. Hi, Kathy. Oh, what are you sewing today, Kathy? I am making these cute little coasters. I love them. Here's how I display them. So I display them in these frames, and so it can be a trivet. It can be individual coasters. And then I always paint on the baseboard a 8-point star that coordinates with the color story of my coasters. So here's my 8-point star. And then you just put your coasters back in there, and they hold very well. And this is part of the reason why I always like to do separate, because I think this looks so stunningly beautiful. And then there you go. And you can just put this on cows and gingerbread. Awesome. Then you can just put this on your table. You can put this on like your coffee table. You can put it on your side table, and it looks very, very beautiful. And then when an individual needs to use coasters, then they just take out a coaster, but it's still a very beautiful piece of art. So much fun. But yeah, seriously, it is just using napkins from, I got these at TJ Maxx, but wherever you can purchase napkins, and Fusion Mineral Paint Ultra Grip, and Fusion Mineral Paint Tough Coat. This is matte. So these are all dry matte. Yep. We're just going to let these other guys dry, but when you are finished with your coaster, this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that cute? I love them. So, and if you're interested in learning more about this tutorial, please contact me. Just comment on this video. If you're interested in purchasing this kit, go to www.willis, farms, FARMS LLC.com. And I appreciate you tuning in with me today. I hope you have a wonderful creative day, and always try to do something creative for 15 minutes out of every single day. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.